He ain't from my town, I don't know him, so I'm guessing he's a clown like he wanted me to love on him. But you know that ain't my style, yet he still got my name in his mouth, and I ain't running for cover from. A bunch of lambs, how you figure you getting fame from my clout, so let's get this cleared now. I'm cold like an Eastern February, but that hating isn't necessary. You being petty cause you see me rising, becoming legendary, and you talking down like you very scary. Come on, dude. Get on, fool. Typing and writing on a post too. Get a cosign when you wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight in the produce section at Whole Foods. I already told you. Since my adolescence, I had to stress that never being less than being excellent is the motto I follow. For throttle, I gotta be some sort of testament. If I strive to do it, be the best at it. So testing this is rather pointless, a pandemonium. My opponent, full of baloney, I'm owning him. He's a phony one, cause I can't allow it. I'm overpowered like Bowser, and your mouth is writing checks with a negative balance. You can't cash that. I don't think it's covered by that Affleck. High side if you want, but you putting on a bad act. I promise you, it ain't worth it. It's more than getting laughed at. You don't want a task that, so back and do oblige. I'm killing it like it's a pesticide. I'm prepared if you get in my way. The endeavor's fine. I never settle. I got the better mind. So if you knocking my grind, I just can't let it slide.
I just wanna be who I wanna be. I ain't getting in nobody's way, but if you get in mine, then you're gonna be in a bad place. Nah, don't get me wrong. Please don't misunderstand my tone. I created my own lane, so you ain't got no business being in it. So you should see why I can't let it slide.
Nah, I done did a lot just to get by, so I can't let it slide. I escaped the mental shackles. I ain't got patience for these bastards. I can't let it slide. I ain't saying I'll attack you. I'm saying this bigger than rappers. I'm saying that you need to back up, so back up. I'm saying that this would not end in a tie. I can't let it slide. My politics are rather controversial. Who would've thought that? I ain't catching all slack, and I have enemies on my ball sack. I'm thinking insanity's what you call that, and I just get appalled at. I'm blacker than Nina the Simone, I just want freedom and want all these people left alone. How in the world is that chapping you? Laughable, you catch an attitude. Glad that you going mad cause my attributes call me bad and a radical, but that is so irrational. Mathematically, I'm past that degree to these rapper dudes. Had another latitude, and that'll prove you lacking too. You roll with a pack of dudes that last you cause you whacking your raps a poo. You need a faculty that's backing you. Your rapping is not compatible. Battle me and that'll be the day. There'll be a casualty, and that don't mean you have to go away. It don't matter to me. Tactically, I'm leaving nothing left. So you can get a step or you can kick rocks like you work construction on a 10th block. So don't do it, you foolish, if you thinking that I have since stopped. I'm just getting started, so when this drop, get ready. Cause I ain't playing about you. I'm praying that you try to get fly like a pterodactyl. I'm staring at you. You better back up. You're damn to try. Apparently, I've earned it all, not just a piece of the pie, so I can't let it slide.
I just wanna be who I wanna be. I ain't getting in nobody's way, but if you get in mine, then you're gonna be in a bad place. Nah, don't get me wrong. Please don't misunderstand my tone. I created my own lane, so you ain't got no business being in it. So you should see why I can't let it slide.
Nah, I done did a lot just to get by, so I can't let it slide. I escaped the mental shackles. I ain't got patience for these bastards. I can't let it slide. I ain't saying I'll attack you. I'm saying this bigger than rappers. I'm saying that you need to back up, so back up. I'm saying that this would not end in a tie. I can't let it slide.
Hey, what up, what up, what up? Happy Tuesday. How y'all feeling today? Go straight to the chat. Zachary Strong, welcome. Cheers, Cannon. Watch the talk on HJ's channel. What a rambling mess of a speech. Who you telling? What a random mess of a speech that was. Felt like a mix between televangelism and an infomercial. Salute to Zachary Strong. Steph, what up? Steph Colonel in the building. Salute. Dia Blaze, what up, cuz? Positive vibes, baby. Papa Naya. I'm liking this Eric July album. I gotta pick it up. Hey, yo, the Eric July album is dope. Shout out to Eric July, man. It's cool that he let, YouTubers and other content creators use his music, for their platform. You know what I mean? Hope everybody had a great day today. It was a cold one here in Baltimore, straight up, I'll tell you that much. It was, man. I was out on the water most of the day. I had to go get a boat that we had to get rid of for somebody. Good old fashioned manual labor. You gotta love it, right? Anyway, so how many of y'all caught that crazy speech that old Joe Nicholslick put out today? I don't know what. I guess he called himself, or I guess the White House called themselves doing damage control based, over the letter or the memo or whatever you want to call it that they sent out the other day. I don't know if he thought this was going to help him in his cause. I feel like it further damaged him. You know what I mean? So, for the people who ain't seen it, we're going to go through it. We're going to listen. We're going to go through it. And I'm going to give my take on it. You know what I mean? But first, in the event of all of this stuff that's going on with them wanting to give our kids the yamming, can't find no bus drivers, and the schools is forcing our kids to want to be, you want to be they want our kids to get that yamming in their V schedule. A lot of us ain't for that, you know what I mean? Not to mention the public school system pushing a lot of propaganda lately, to our children, But it's one thing that the Hoteps want to do is combat that, and we want to give you options. There are other options other than public school. I mean, you can put your kid in private school, but that's expensive. Charter schools, they're not expensive, but they're hard to get in. But what better way than to teach your kids what you want to teach them than the good old fashioned homeschooling? Sorry about that. Messed up my own damn segue, right? Anyway, so Hotep Nation is doing a live homeschooling initiative. Whoever influences a child's mind creates the thoughts of the future. The first, the first one to a child's mind will be the most influential as to how and what the child thinks. We believe that parents, we believe that parents should have more control over this than anyone else, and homeschooling protects your child's mind. Hotep Nation is dedicated to promoting homeschooling across America. We have designed a brilliant marketing plan to make homeschooling popular and less taboo. Our initiative will empower parents and guardians with the knowledge and resources they need to make the transition to homeschooling. With your help, we can spread this to more families and faster. Please donate today to preserve the minds of America's children. So if you want to donate, and I do encourage that you do, every dime goes to the homeschooling initiative when you donate to it. Go to hotepnation.com/donate. Again, that's hotepnation.com/donate. All right, let's get into this. So today, right, old Joe Nicholslick wanted to come and he wanted to plead his case to America and what we needed to do. At the same time, taking shots at the unyamming, you know what I mean? Or we'll say, let's stop calling us unyamming. That's the free willed people. You know what I mean? Took shots at people that, can think for themselves. So what we're going to do, we're going to sit back, we're going to relax, we're going to listen to old Joe Nicholslick and what he wants us to know and listen to him plead his case for everybody getting the yamming. Let's get to it.
Let me answer some questions that lay out the steps the Vice President and I are taking to prepare for the rising number of cases experts tell us we can expect.
Fair use.
First, how concerned should you be about Omicron, which is now the dominant variant in this country and it happened so quickly? The answer is straightforward. If you're not fully vaccinated, you have good reason to be concerned. You're at a high risk of getting sick. And if you get sick, you're likely to spread it to others, including friends and family. And the unvaccinated have a significantly higher risk of ending up in a hospital or even dying. Almost everyone who has died from COVID-19 in the past many months has been
You see how he even starts the speech off? You see how he starts the speech off with just morbid, just Disney-like, just Disney-like, just death and destruction to anybody that doesn't follow along with our plan. You know what I mean? He's saying we're going to go the way of Bambi and, Nemo's mother or something crazy, something tragic. You know what I mean? Keep it moving.
Vaccinated, unvaccinated. But if you're among the majority of Americans who are fully vaccinated, and especially if you've gotten the booster shot, that third shot, you have much less reason to worry. You have a high degree of protection against severe illness. Because Omicron spreads so easily, we'll see some fully vaccinated people get COVID, potentially in large numbers.
Hold on. Right off the top, let's go back a few seconds. Hold up.
But if you're among the majority of Americans who are fully vaccinated, and especially if you've gotten the booster shot, that third shot, you have much less reason to worry. You have a high degree of protection against severe illness. Because Omicron spreads so easily, we'll see some fully vaccinated people get COVID, potentially in large numbers. There'll be positive cases in.
All right, so he said that if you get the trifecta, the hat trick, 3 yammeens, right? You have a high degree of protection, but in the same breath, just say that due to the new variant, the Omarion, right? Which we already knew that it was yammeen resistant, just like the rest of them been, by the way. That they're going to see a high number of jabbed up individuals sick. Like, make that make sense. Jeez Louise.
In every office, even here in the White House, among the vaccinated from Omicron. But these cases are highly unlikely to lead to serious illness. Vaccinated people who get COVID may get ill, but they're protected from severe illness and death. That's why you should still remain vigilant. According to our doctors, even if you're fully vaccinated, you should wear a mask when indoors and in public settings. Wearing a mask provides extra protection for you and those around you. And I know some Americans are wondering if you can safely celebrate the holidays with your family and friends. The answer is yes, you can. If you and those you celebrate with are vaccinated, particularly if you've gotten your booster shot. If you are vaccinated and follow the precautions that we all know well, you should feel comfortable celebrating Christmas and the holidays as you planned it. You know, you've done the right thing. You can enjoy the holiday season. And thanks to the progress on vaccination.
So the people who got the yammeen, if you've been good boys and girls, and the government will reward you with the allowance to have family and friends over for the holidays. But you got to have the trifecta, the hat trick. You got to have the 2 jabs and the boost. Meanwhile, in the beginning of the speech, he said, a lot of y'all with the yammeen going to get sick in large numbers. He contradict themselves at every step of the way. Keep moving.
Vaccinations this fall. We've gone from nearly 90 million adults in July who have not even started their vaccination process to fewer than 40 million today. Still too many, but down from 90 to 40. All these people who have not been vaccinated, you have an obligation to yourselves, to your families, and quite frankly, I'm not only criticized for this, to your country. Get vaccinated now. It's free. It's convenient. I promise you, it saves lives. And I honest to God believe it's your patriotic duty. Another question folks are asking is, what can you do to make yourself and your family feel safer and be safer? The answer is simple. Get your booster shot. Wear a mask. Our doctors have made it clear. Booster shots provide the strongest of protections. Unfortunately, we still have tens of millions of people who are eligible for the booster shot but have not yet gotten it. They've gotten the first 2 shots, but they've not gotten the booster. Folks, the booster shots are free and why?
All right, so the way to protect you and your family is to get the booster, huh? Let's go back and hear what he said in the very beginning. Hold tight. Right here. I think it's right here.
Americans who are fully vaccinated, And especially if you've gotten the booster shot, that third shot, you have much less reason to worry. You have a high degree of protection against severe illness. Because Omicron spreads so easily, we'll see some fully vaccinated people get COVID, potentially in large numbers. There'll be positive.
Potentially in large numbers. Just keep that in mind, people. Go back where we were at.
Vulnerable group have gotten their booster shots. I got my booster shot as soon as they were available. And just the other day, former President Trump announced he had gotten his booster shot.
Facts.
Maybe
Facts
one of the
stuff.
few things he and I agree on. People with booster shots are highly protected. Join them. Join us.
And you notice how he threw Trump name out there, right? He threw old Donnie T name on there because he really think that the people that's apprehensive to getting the Yamin are Trump supporters. Y'all get that, right? They really think that the people out here not getting the Yamin are all Trump supporters. When realistically, a lot of the people that's apprehensive about getting the Yamin voted for this nigga. That's how delusional they are. That's the cognitive dissonance. That's the mental gymnastics that they're using to make all this nonsense make sense. You know what I mean? Lucas Storm, what up? What up? What up? What up? Exactly. Join us. I swear this shit give me Jim Jones vibes. You feel me?
It's been 6 months or more since my second shot. If it's been 6 months or more for your second shot when I got my booster, you can get yours today. It's been 6 months or more since your second shot. Another question that folks are asking is, are we going back to March 2020? Not this last March 2021, but March 2020 when the pandemic first hit. That's what I keep getting asked. The answer is absolutely no.
The answer is yes. He lying his ass off. You got some schools here in Baltimore who've been sending their kids for the break. They've been sending laptops back home. They're preparing for at home learning again. It's going to happen, guys. They're going to use the cover of the cold and flu season to push this Omarion shit. You know what I mean? You can see with his body language. You can see with his body language he lying.
It's been 6 months or more since my second
Check
shot.
it out.
If it's been 6 months or more for your second shot when I got my booster, you can get yours today. It's been 6 months or more since your second shot. Another question that folks are asking is, are we going back to March 2020? Not this last March 2021, but March 2020 when the pandemic first hit. That's what I keep getting asked. The answer is absolutely no. No. There are three big differences between then and now. Number one, first one, more than 200 million Americans have been fully vaccinated. In March 2020, no one was fully vaccinated.
No shit.
What that means is today, a case of COVID-19 for fully vaccinated and boosted person will most likely mean no symptoms or mild ones similar to the common respiratory viruses. Over 200 million Americans should have the peace of mind that they did not have in March of 2020. They're protected from hospitalization and they're protected from death. Second point, we're prepared today for what's coming.
So we're protected from hospitalization, but protected from death. That's what he's saying, right? Meanwhile, what he saying in the beginning? Because of the new Omarion, potentially large numbers of the jabbed up folks will get sick. Let's not forget that. Thing is people that don't do active listening. You know what I mean? How many people you think heard his speech and ran out and got their kids jabbed up? You know what I mean? How many people listened to this speech and started berating their family members because they didn't want to go do it? You feel me? Lucas Storm, what up? They really think we're part of the goof troop. Facts. Facts. That's exactly what they think it is. They think that we're retarded. Sorry. They think that we don't know no better. You feel me? They think we don't know no better. My daughter's school did that in New Jersey with return on January 18th. Damn, January 18th. That sound like they trying to inch it. They trying to ease it in. Vari Allen, what up? My kids' schools got shut down after a positive vacation among the 3 times vacay with what? Among the 3 times vacay with a booster seat spread it alleged. Oh, really? Is that right? So somebody got the trifecta, huh? Jeez. Monique. Yeah, that's a good drinking game. You know what? Dang, I ain't think about that, Monique. Take a sip of something every time he clear his throat, cause he didn't clear his throat, boy. Either he nervous up there or he he's sick. You know what I mean? J.A. He been contradicting himself all over the place. You know what I mean? Sorry, I'm already trying. Right, exactly. He's dying. Just say the speech. Right, exactly. What up, shooter? Jay. And I hated the condescending tones. All you guys, I know you're tired. It's not so bad. Exactly. You know what I mean? That's like your parents when they trying to ladle that fucking Robitussin down your throat when you ain't feeling good. You know what I mean? It's crazy. I really heard the extra emphasis on getting testing regularly to work. They on that, yeah. They on that dollar grift, Joe. You know what I mean? All right, let's get back to the video.
In March of 2020, we were not ready. Today, we stockpiled enough gowns, masks, and ventilators to deal with the surge of hospitalizations among the unvaccinated.
Meanwhile, if you on a ventilator, that means that you on your way out.
And as I'll explain in a few minutes, we're going to be reinforcing our hospitals, helping them. Number 3, we know a lot more today than we did back in March of 2020. For example, last year, we thought the only way to keep your children safe was to close our...
That's another thing. You want to help reinforce the hospitals. You want to help reinforce the hospitals, and you said that this shit was so severe. Why you lay off so many healthcare workers? Why you lay off so many nurses? Why these hospitals lay off all these people if it was so severe and they were overrun? Again, that mental gymnastics, man. You gotta make that shit make sense.
Our schools. Today, we know more, and we have more resources to keep those schools open. You can get 5 to 11-year-olds vaccinated, a tool we didn't have until last month. Today, we don't have to shut down schools because of a case of COVID-19. Now, if a student tests positive, other students can take the test and stay in the classroom if they're not infected, rather than closing the whole school or having to quarantine. We can keep our K through 12 schools open. That's exactly what we should be doing. So, folks, let me summarize. We should all be concerned about Omicron, but not panicked. If you're fully vaccinated,
Facts.
and especially if you got your booster shot,
305.
you are highly protected. And if you're unvaccinated, you're at a higher risk of getting severely ill from COVID-19, getting hospitalized, and even dying. So the best thing to do is get fully vaccinated and get your booster shot. And no, this is not March of 2020. 200 million people are fully vaccinated. We're prepared. We know more. We just have to stay focused.
My question is, out of those 200 million people that are vaccinated, jabbed up, how many of them ain't here no more? Out of the 200 million people all jabbed up, how many people ain't here no more? That's my question, and that number. You know, we seen Oscar De La Hoya laid up in the hospital after getting the jab, right? Colin Powell got the jab, and he kicked the bucket from complications with the remix. Yeah, we know he had cancer and stuff, but they specifically said he kicked the bucket from issues with the remix. You know what I mean? Marvin Hagler, it was argued that he took the amine and he wasn't here no more. You know, I personally know 2 people who passed away after getting the yammy. How many people are in the $200 million person statistic? Ain't here no more. That's my question. I would love to know that, but you know they ain't gonna let us know that, right? Because we gotta go get those 2 jabs and that Boost Mobile. Keep it going.
Focused. So that's where we stand. Now let me tell you about the additional steps I'm ordering today to take on what is coming. I know you've heard a lot of this in the news already this morning. 3 weeks ago, I laid out a COVID-19 action plan for this winter that prepared us for this moment. Today, we're making the plan even stronger. First, we're setting up our vaccination and booster efforts. We're stepping it up significantly. In the past 2 weeks, we've seen the highest vaccination rates since last spring. And we aren't as vaccinated as a country as we should be, though. That's why we have added 10,000 new vaccination sites on top of the 80,000 sites that we already had in place. And even more will open in January.
All right, so they added more jabby sites, right? Like I said before, for what? The people that got it, people that wanted to get it, got it. The people that had to get it reluctantly because they would have lost their job, they have it. People that's left are the people that don't want it. So what's the point of opening up these new sites? What's the point? You know what I mean? For what? Like I said, it's cognitive dissonance. They really think that they can convince us to do something we don't want to do. You know, and that's what rubs me the wrong way. Shooter 305. Are you big into survivalist culture? It's starting to look like many of us are going to need to learn. Yeah, I am. I explained this one time on another live stream. So after I heard Killer Mike go off on a panel, you know, because people ain't know how to shoot, hunt, defend themselves, stuff like that, kind of hit home with me. So yeah, I started learning. You know, I hunt, I shoot. I know martial arts. You know what I mean? You know, I was undefeated in Taekwondo, wrestling, and started going into MMA. You know, just to learn it, jujitsu, stuff like that. Got a neighbor that supposed to teach me how to be better at planning, you know, a garden and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm definitely into the survival culture, you know, and I think a lot of people should. So a lot of people should have, you know, stockpiles of canned goods and water and stuff like that. Definitely going to start to need it soon. You're right. He's right. I'm tired. I'm tired of this goofy ass administration. Yeah, straight up, man. Straight up. You know what I mean? Jabari Allen. Right. Right. It said allegedly. Exactly. Monique, you can be considered non-jab if you just get one dose. Yeah, it's a play on words. They always gonna move that goalpost. And what happens when the people that got the double don't get the boost? You feel me? What happens when the people that they got the double don't get the boost? Are they at a certain point going to be considered unyamming? Long live the king. You can't spread the remix unless you have it. Exactly. Being unyamming doesn't mean you have the remix. And the yamming getting spread it. So stop the BS. Yeah, 100%. You're right. Yep. That is 100% right. You know what I mean? Do this real quick. You know, I like to have music in the backgrounds. Super Carlo, what up? If the jabbed up die before 14 days of the second yamming, they don't count. Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, that was their statistic. You know what I mean? And that's crazy to me. You know what I mean? Emmanuel Sanders, 33 years old. Oh, whoa, what happened to Emmanuel Sanders? I'm lost. What happened to that shooter? You talking about the receiver, right? Ninjas out here buying buying the in-home test kits, making bread off of fear and goof. Yeah. This is all this was just a commercial and a marketing strategy for the Yamming period. You know what I mean? You know, we're gonna get that commercial, we're gonna get that commercial soon. It was like, where'd it go? Did you take the such and so shot between the years of 2020 and 2022? You may be entitled to a lawsuit. You know what I mean? That's coming. You know what I mean? Yeah, they would definitely do that. I remember it was a story where the dude had a .108, a blood alcohol level, ran into a tree, killed himself. They counted him as a remix case. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody in the chat. If you new, hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Take a look at my content. I'm sure you like it. Home kits could be DNA harvesting for the government. Goofy on tight. Goofy on tight. Long live the king. Yeah. Get the quercetin, the bromelain, the zinc, the vitamin C and D. Yeah, you're right. The iverson. Yeah, if you can, for any respiratory virus. Yeah, exactly. Also, keep that inflammation down. That means no starches, no sugars. Just water, broth, stuff like that you can get that inflammation out of your body. That'll help you. That'll stop the cytokine storm. By the way, guys, when we finish, go over to HJ's channel, right? He gonna have Dr. Tanai Ricks on. It looks like tonight, so check that out. There's gonna be a lot of good information in that. JJ, how do they all have these produced? I can barely get a burger from McDonald's. How they got the workers to produce this much supply so fast for the whole globe? 100%, yo. That's a good question. You know what I mean? I thought we had a worker shortage, right? I can't even get a PlayStation 5 right now. You know what I mean? Shooter 305, love your breakdown in the Rittenhouse trial with Hotep. I appreciate it, yo. I appreciate that. All right, let's get back to this.
You know, there's some parts of this country where people are very eager to get the booster, where it's harder to get an appointment. Excuse me. So starting this week, I'll be deploying hundreds more vaccinators and more sites to help get the booster shots in people's arms. I've ordered FEMA, the Federal Emergency Management Agency, to stand up new pop-up vaccination clinics all across the country where you can get that booster shot. We've opened FEMA vaccination sites.
He about to keel over on stage.
Recently as cases have increased. And today, I'm directing FEMA to stand up new sites in areas where there is a high demand. These steps are going to help us add more and more booster appointments and just over the next few weeks. I also want to say a word to parents. If your children are not vaccinated, please get them vaccinated. If you're a parent, understandably, who waited to see how the first shots went.
He was still playing too.
Before getting your own kid vaccinated, you can stop waiting. 6 million children in our country, ages 5 to 11, are vaccinated. Get your children protected today, now. For those parents out there who have a child that's too young to be vaccinated, that is under the age of 5, I know this can still be a scary time. One thing.
No, I didn't see the restrictions.
You can and must do while we await vaccines for children under 5. Get yourself fully vaccinated and boosted.
They're coming after the kids.
Your children, your caregivers, your siblings. It's critical to mask up in public indoor places. We know that our youngest children have only rarely been impacted by serious COVID-19 cases. But they can be further protected if they're surrounded by vaccinated people. And again, to folks who are not vaccinated, you might think you're putting only yourself at risk. But it's your choice. Your choice is not just a choice about you. It affects other people.
That's the thing, right? So if you got, the Yameen, I mean, other Yammeens in the past, chickenpox, measles, mumps, hepatitis. You get those, right? They prevent you from getting those diseases or those viruses, right? That's what a vaccine is, right? This ain't that. Now, like I said before, if you want to call this a therapeutic because it's massages some of the symptoms of, the virus, then call it a therapeutic. But what it ain't is a proper Yameen. But you can't tell nobody nothing. You know what I mean? Like I said, how many people rushed out after this, right? Brainwashed people and got their kids scheduled to go get this Yameen. How many? I guarantee it's a ton. You know what I mean? Not even worried about what the side effects is going to be for their kids. The older kids, the teenagers and stuff was what was the myocarditis? You know what I mean? They had issues with like inflammation and with the heart and all that other stuff with the older kids. They never resolved that. But they rushed right out here and they started giving the kids 5 to 11. Now they trying to get it for kids from the womb. You know what I mean? It's shameful and it's disgusting.
Putting other people at risk. Your loved one, your friends, neighbors, strangers you run into. And your choice can be the difference between life or death. The longer the virus is around, the more likely variants form. It may be deadlier than the ones that have come before. Let me say again and again and again and again, please get vaccinated. It's the only responsible thing to do. Those who are not vaccinated are causing hospitals to become overrun again. I just spoke to the governor of New York. Every COVID-19 hospital means someone with a heart attack, cancer, or other serious illness may not get that bed and that life-saving care they need in the
Thanks,
hospital.
Jay.
Look, let me give it to you straight again. Omicron is serious, potentially deadly business for unvaccinated people. Let me be clear. Thanks to the prior administration and our scientific community, America is one of the first countries to get the vaccine.
Again, only reason giving credit to Donnie T is because he think that the people that's on the fence and the people that's decided not to get this voted for Donnie T. Mind you, if you look at New York, most of the people that don't want to get it didn't vote for old Donnie T. That state went blue. You feel me? Because of New York City. And that's what they don't understand. They don't get that. They can't fathom why somebody won't follow their directions. You know what I mean? Meanwhile, the mayor of Baltimore, he had it despite being jabbed up. You know what I mean? The governor of Maryland right now has he has the remix despite having the trifecta. Like what other people in Congress and the Senate got it despite being, having that triple threat. They came out when Omarion hit here. They said it. They said it was Yameen resistant. So how is the solution to the Omarion is more Yameens when we know that the Yameen don't work? The Yameen ain't work for the Delta Burke. The Yameen ain't work for the Lambda. It didn't work for any of it. But you're still pushing it. The EU done approved a 5th boost. They done approved a 5th shot. Like if you got to take 5 shots, if you got to take 3 shots, if you got to take, then you need to sit back and maybe reflect on that and say, you know what, maybe there's something up with this, and maybe there's a reason why this doesn't work. Boy, I tell you. Zachary Strong, a woman I went to school with, just got her hat trick. She's pregnant. I've got my fingers crossed for her. Posted on Facebook encouraging other pregnant women to do it. I stayed out of it. I think Unc said something on his live stream this morning that either he knows somebody or his chick knows somebody that got the Yami while she was pregnant and gave birth stillborn, man. That's tough. Can't imagine, you know, having to give birth to a baby that's, you know, that's not alive, man. They never had to change the definition of a Yami before. You're right, but now they trying to do it. Now they trying to erase what the initial definition was. Now they doing it. Now they got to do it. If you say something enough time, people are bound to believe it. I say no to bullying, drugs, and drug peddlers. Facts. Darius Hamilton, what up? Hotep and Build. Well, everybody got buyer's remorse, babe. In the Bronx, we have one of the lowest Yamin rates in the city. 90%. Yeah. Yep. He definitely is. I don't think the politicals got the real Yamin, much less the hack trick. I believe. Hey, I remember. Hey, shoot, I remember a couple of times where they got caught faking the funk on live television. Remember that? You know what I mean? Who the hell listens and follows the government? All of this is creepy. Hey, you got. I know so many people that believe they was all these revolutionaries. Don't trust the government. You know, fuck 12, all this other shit, right? Now they all on board with this shit. You know what I mean? Like, you've been living your whole life, don't trust the redacted, right? Now when it comes to some shit where they tell you your life on the line, now it's all trust the man. You know? Like I said, like, especially with black people, you know, we had the Tuskegee experiments and stuff like that. You know, you had the World War II experiments on those guys. You had the Vietnam experiments as far as Yamins on them. Like, people got a reason to not trust the government when it comes to shit like this, but they just fall in line so quick. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a subscription plan, yo. Watch, it's gonna be a subscription plan. Like, you know, they gonna send you an alert to your phone. Hey, it's been 6 months. Did you get your, you know? It's an endemic. It's not going away. You're right. They love the power. Some of them get. Yeah, you're right. Darius, found it ironic how you also rent and dump dumpsters. I work with a brother who does it. A word, that's what's up. Yeah, hey, like I said, guys, all this coming down the pipe. You gotta find you a hustle. I've been saying that. I've been preaching that, man. Listen, one thing everybody gonna need is trash removal. Everything might go by the wayside, but you gotta get rid of trash, right? It's food for thought. You know what I mean? Right, let's get back to this.
Thanks to my administration and the hard work of Americans, we led a rollout, made America among the world leaders in getting shots in arms. But uptake slowed this.
Not to mention the head start Donnie T gave you on it.
Among some hardened. Look, the unvaccinated are responsible for their own choices. But those choices have been fueled by dangerous misinformation on cable TV and social media. You know, these companies and personalities are making money by peddling lies and allowing misinformation that can kill their own customers and their own supporters.
No, you're peddling lies that could lead to deaths and all that other stuff. You guys are doing that. You got the independent journalists and you got the influencers and stuff who are against it, who are giving you the alternate information, who giving you the information like, hey, look, they're fact checking y'all and y'all don't like it. You got Joe Rogan, who probably arguably, you know, on a bad day, tops the ratings of any mainstream media outlet, who has a bigger voice than you, the president of the United States, telling people, hey, there's another option. You don't like it. So you got to demonize them. You got to discredit them. Just like I did Gina Carano for her tweet. Look what we got now. You got people fleeing Germany. We did a live stream on that Sunday. You got people fleeing Germany. Germany talking about charging people what? 4,000 euros or whatever they use. If they not yamined up. You know, can't go to grocery stores and stuff like that. People getting papers checked. You got Sweden volunteering to get chips in their hand for their passports. I swear, this dystopian future is here, man. The shit we used to read about, and in these books and stuff, here.
It's wrong. It's immoral. I call on the purveyors of these lies and misinformation to stop it. Stop it now.
Somebody in his ear, get more dramatic,
One of the
Joe.
other things that we know that has to be done.
More passion,
More
Joe.
testing. Because Omicron spreads easily, especially among the unvaccinated. It's critically important that we know who's infected.
Okay, so as far as this testing concerned, you know what I mean? Dr. Tanarick said it. The RT-PCR test is unreliable. You know what I mean? It's unreliable. And who's running it? And we're in the cold and flu season. And we know that these tests cannot isolate the remix. You know what I mean? Or any what's it called? What are these called? RNAs. Is it RNA virus? I think that's what it's called. You can't isolate anything, so it can't tell the difference between the remix, the flu, pneumonia, and a common cold. So if you just had a regular ass cold and you still got that dead virus in your system, the RT-PCR test is gonna pick it up and it's gonna give you a false positive. We know that. But now they want to start more testing during cold and flu season because they know that they're gonna get a bunch of false positives. Let's keep going.
That means we need more testing. And on that score, we're now where
Don't
we
need more testing.
Yes, we have over 20,000 free testing sites. Yes, we've used the Defense Production Act and spent $3 billion to greatly expand the number of at-home tests available for purchase online and at your local pharmacy. And yes, we made sure insurance covers the PCR tests you get in the hospital or at your doctor's office. But starting next month, private insurance will also cover at-home testing. So you can order a test online and get reimbursed. We're providing access to free at-home tests for those who may have insurance as well, may not have insurance, I should say, as well. But it's not enough. We have to do more. We have to do better. And we will. Starting this week, the federal government will set up emergency testing sites in areas that need additional testing capacity. Before Christmas, the first several of these federal testing sites will be up and running.
Luke Kid Gravity.
With many more to come. This free testing is going to help reduce the waiting lines, the time you have to stand there. Sometimes it's an hour or more. We're going to continue to add federal testing sites where needed. So that if you want an immediate
Yeah, I said like
test,
he said his stuff.
to be a place where you
1/2
go get it.
billion.
We also need to do better with at-home testing. So I'm announcing today the federal government
Facts.
will purchase 1/2 billion, that's not million, billion with a B, additional at-home rapid tests with delivery starting in January. We'll be getting these tests to Americans for free. We'll have websites where you can get them delivered to your home. We've arranged for it to be easier for you to find a free COVID testing site near you on Google. Just enter COVID test.
Remember, we too stupid to know how the internet work, right? Remember when he said that shit?
You can find a number of different locations nearby where you can get tested. We're going to continue to use the Defense Production Act, as we did earlier this month, to make sure we're producing as many tests and as quickly as possible. The bottom line is it's a lot better than it was. We're taking even more steps to make it easier to get tested and get tested for free. Next, we're preparing hospitals for what's coming. Those 40 unvaccinated adults have a good chance of getting COVID-19, and some of you will get very sick.
He's gonna harp on that.
Hospitals are going to get extremely stressed again, both in terms of equipment as well as personnel to care for those who get sick. That's why my administration has stockpiled and pre-positioned millions of gowns, gloves, masks, and ventilators. We call it PPP. We're ready to send them immediately to any state that needs more.
Oh boy.
In addition, I've directed the Pentagon to mobilize an additional 1,000 troops to be deployed to help staff local hospitals and expand capacity.
Again, for what? When you got all of these laid off healthcare workers, all these laid off nurses and stuff. If you say you need that much, they need to be employed, right? Why you sending the military in there, Joe? What's the play, Joe? You got to send the military in there to help out. We ain't stupid.
That's 1,000 military doctors, nurses, and medics. We've already started moving medical teams. They've already landed in Wisconsin and Indiana this week. This is on top of 300 federal medical personnel that are now on the ground, having deployed since we learned about Omicron. Look, while we know staffing is...
Well, Marion just an excuse for them to declare martial law.
Some may need more beds as well. We're prepared. I've directed FEMA to activate the National Response Center and begin deploying teams now to provide additional hospital beds. We'll begin to construct emergency capacities near hospitals, in parking garages, and nearby buildings to be ready if needed. And the federal government is paying for all of this, period, all of it. Further, FEMA will deploy hundreds of ambulances and EMS crews so that if one hospital fills up, we can transport patients to beds elsewhere. This week...
So now he talking about deploying FEMA. We all know FEMA ain't really here to give us aid, right? We all know FEMA ain't here, you know, to help us out in these types of situations. FEMA here for other nefarious purposes. Simple as that. You know what I mean? Samantha, you got a point. We have to report your results for the at-home test. Everyone needs to stop testing, period. And you know where to come get you. Preparing hospitals by firing workers, also not counting the sick that got the yammine. Exactly. You would get a subpar care with the military. Yep, exactly. Bro, facts. He mentioned FEMA a lot. Keep it moving.
We'll send dozens of ambulances to New York and Maine because the COVID is spreading very rapidly to help transport patients. Our doctors, nurses, hospital staffs have gone above and beyond during this pandemic. The strain and stress is real. I really mean it. It's real. We'll have their backs, though. We have to let them know we have their backs. Finally,
Have their backs.
we're making sure that COVID-19 no longer closes businesses or schools. Last week, the federal court reinstated my administration's vaccination or test. Vaccination or test rule for businesses with more than 100 employees. The rule requires employers with 100 or more employees to protect their workers who are on site and indoors with the requirement that they be vaccinated or tested each week or go home. These rules are going to keep workers safe, and keep workers safe will help keep businesses open. When people are vaccinated or tested, they're much less likely to get sick and less likely.
So let me get this right. So you got people that don't got the yammine, right? But a lot of them people probably got natural immunity from either having the yammine, having the remix and beating it, or just having natural immunity just because they had natural immunity. But people that got the trifecta or they got the double, right? They walk around this motherfucker like Typhoid Mary, spreading shit. I say it all the time. If you can catch it and you can spread it, then why? What's the point? You know what I mean? And with all these breakthrough cases that we got, quote unquote, kind of makes me feel like the people that got the yammine is the ones that's the issue, not the people that ain't got it. I feel like you need to be protecting the people that ain't got it from the people that got the yammine. That's just me. Keep it moving.
Likely to spread it to others. Customers are more likely to come in and shop because they know it's a safe environment. I know vaccination requirements aren't popular for many. They're not even popular for those who are anxious to get them. My administration has put them in place not to control your life, but to save your life and the lives of others. Where 400,000 Americans died from COVID this calendar year. And almost all were unvaccinated. Almost all were preventable. rule is legal and effective. It's going to save thousands of American lives. We must also keep our K-12 schools open. Look, the science is clear and overwhelming. We know how to keep our kids safe from COVID-19. K through 12 schools should be open.
Here we go again. Here you go again. Hugging on the heartstrings of Americans to get their kids to take a shot, an experimental drug that we don't know how it's going to affect them in the next 5 years.
CDC is recommending including masking. I got Congress to pass billions of dollars in school improvements, ventilation, and social distancing. Schools should be safer than ever from COVID-19. And just Friday, the CDC issued a test-to-stay guidelines. So schools can stay open and kids can stay in class even if a classmate tests positive. COVID-19 is scary, but the science is clear. Children are safe are as safe in school as they are any place, assuming the
Science was clear a long time ago. We know that it don't affect the kids the way that they're trying to say it affect kids. The science was clear a long time ago, but it ain't the science they like to hear. You know what I mean? You need that brought to you by science. You know, science brought to you by the United States government. That's what we need to listen to. You know, the people that got in their pockets lined by, you know, by the government to say what they want to say, to push their propaganda. But he wants us to believe that an experimental drug that's been killing a lot of people, that's giving other kids heart issues, is okay for younger kids, and that we should be giving this to all our children. This is what he's saying out of his mouth.
The appropriate precautions have been taken and they've already been funded. Let me close with this. I know you're tired. I really mean this, and I know you're frustrated. We all want this to be over, but we're still in it. This is a critical moment. We also have more tools than we ever had before. We're ready. We'll get through this. As we head into the holidays, I want us to all keep the faith.
There we go.
I want to sincerely thank you for your perseverance, your courage, your countless acts of kindness, love, and sacrifice during these last 2 years. Throughout our history, we've been tested as a people and as a nation through war and turmoil. I'd ask whether we'd be safe, whether we'd be okay, whether we could get back to who we are. We've always endured because remember, there's no challenge too big for America. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. No challenge. We've come through better and stronger because we stay together as the United States of America.
Okay.
That's what we have to keep doing today.
But you stay trying to divide us. We're the United States of America. Meanwhile, you keep trying to pit American against American, the jabbed against the unjabbed. You telling that the people, you telling right now, you talking about united. We got to be united. But in this whole thing, you were taking shots at the people that don't trust the Yamin. Not only were you taking shots at the people that don't trust the Yamin, you basically told the people who decided to go get the trifecta, the hat trick, the 2-pointer, that the people that don't want to get the jab is the problem. And they could potentially cause illness to you. You're treating us like lepers. But you want to say we're a united front. This whole speech was 100% just divisive. The letter that they went out, that memo, 100% divisive. You're pitting American against American. You're pitting people against your families, against family members against family members, co-workers against co-workers. You should be ashamed of yourself, Joe.
I guarantee you. May God bless you all. May God protect our troops. And happy holidays. God bless. Thank you.
I ain't even gonna play the questions because there was some bullshit. Questions was some bullshit. I'll say this though. They is some persistent motherfuckers, ain't they? They not gonna give up on the lie. They gonna keep the lie alive, right? They gonna keep that lie alive. And they're not gonna stop until they get, like he said before, 99 to 100% compliance with this Yamin. You know, we got 60% of the United States that's jabbed up. Fully jabbed up. I mean, they got a double. You know what I mean? They're not even counting the people that got the single. You know, I know so many people that's saying, hey, yo, I got 2 of them, y'all. That's where I draw the line. I ain't getting that third. And I'd be like, yeah, all right. Yeah, all right. So they move that goalpost in your job, tell you that you got to get that third or else you're going to lose your job or don't come to work or they're going to furlough you. You know, thing is, where do these people draw their line in the sand? Like I said, all the people that was willing to get this, they got it. All the people that had to get it because they had to keep their jobs, they got it. Only people that's left is the people that don't trust us and don't want it. You know what I mean? I can see if this thing actually worked. I can see if this thing actually cured, you know, respiratory viruses like the flu and them, because the term corona is that it encompasses all of those. You know what I mean? It encompasses all of those, right? So you would think if this Yamin is supposedly the end all be all for this, then it should be able to cure everything else, right? That's just me. Thing about it is, it does nothing. We don't know what they're injecting in our arms. You know what I mean? No, it's an experimental thing called mRNA. You know, we don't know how it's going to affect us. We know that a bunch of people have died as a result of getting the shot. We know that they fudged the numbers early on. We know that the PCR T test is faulty and flawed. We know that it seems to ramp up around cold and flu season. We also know that last year the flu numbers were non-existent. What more is it going to take for people to wake up and see that this is a sham? We've been hoodwinked. All they want is power. All they want to do is control us. I don't know what they're conditioning us for, but they definitely condition us for something. All I just say is, people got to wake up. Don't get this to your babies. Don't get this to your children who ain't had a chance to learn or ain't had a chance to live life. We don't know what it's going to do. Things like this take years to perfect. This was done inside of a year and then pushed on everybody around the globe inside of another year. Variants are going to happen. The flu, we had H1N1, we had swine flu, we had, you know what I mean, the bird flu, you know. Chickenpox turns into shingles if you never had it before. Things mutate. We know that. All you should be able to do is inform us and let us know what's going on, right? And then let us make a decision for ourselves. I mean, I really feel bad for these people out here who swear up and down that they got it all figured out and they just run at the chance to comply with the government. We don't know how this is going to treat people 5 years down the road, 10 years down the road. We don't know how it's going to treat their children when they decide to have children. You know what I mean? Women who got it after having a baby and then they're breastfeeding. You know what I mean? We don't know. You know, a lot of us aren't even, hesitant. You know, a lot of us aren't anti-vax. A lot of us aren't. You know what I mean? We're anti this one. You know, and rightfully so. You know, I got a lot of family members who give me a lot of grief because I say I'm not getting it. You know what I mean? And they think I'm some crazy tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist. And I'm like, if I've been telling you your whole life and my whole life that 2 + 2 is 4, 3 + 3 is 6. You know what I mean? The sky's blue. You know, clouds are white. Why do you think I'm going to lead you astray now? Why do you think I'm going to tell you some bullshit now? If I've been a straight shooter my whole life with you, why would you think that I would come out my mouth with some half-cock shit? You know what I mean? It's insulting. But you can't blame them because they're just listening to the powers that be. You know, they don't want to listen to a family member. They don't want to listen to a friend that really cares about them. You know what I mean? A loved one that really cares about them. They want to listen to a person that don't give a shit about them, don't know who they are. They just got an agenda to push. They gotta make a quota. They gotta make some cash at the behest of you. You're just collateral damage, cannon fodder, what you are. I really feel sorry for a lot of people out here. I really hope that a lot of people start waking up. And I know a lot of people that have a lot of buyer's remorse for this man, you know, and rightfully so. I hope they get it right in 2024. Hope you get it right in 2022. If not, just gonna keep marching us right off that cliff, taking the real ones with you. Let's go back to the chat. Super Carlo. CNN is easing those normies back to reality. Something is coming. Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, it is. We know. Like I've been saying, that dark winter's here, man. Ahmad, what up? Once you bend the knee, it's kind of hard to stand back up. That's right. You know why? When you bend the knee, they put that boot on your back. And then once you on the ground, they put that boot on your neck. J.A. Anybody who had a weak mind and spirit, if they can scoop them up, they're going to try. Guilt play, patriotism. Oh, please. Period. Period, full stop. You're right. Samantha. They will keep it going as long as we the people let them. That's 100% right. We have more power than them. We definitely do. We just got to learn how to come together. Everybody out for self. Folks afraid to catch a cold. I mean, it's diabolically brilliant in a way. Sneeze and fear for your dang life. Dude, what? Not even fear for your life. Go to a market without a muzzle on your face and sneeze or cough. The whole fucking world stops. Stares at you now. You know what I mean? It's crazy. The Yamin took care of definitely took care of the flu. That's 100% more deaths since the rollout of that Yamin. Maud. It's crazy. I was just talking to a friend, and I think all this was supposed to take place under the H1N1. However, couldn't push until social media was in play. That's an interesting take. I remember when H1N1 came out, everybody was losing their minds. People were scared. People was getting that flu shot in droves. Shooter. It's easier to go with the flow. Yeah. It's definitely easier to go with the flow. You know what I mean? You know, the path of success or anything is the road less traveled. People don't want that resistance. People don't like that energy. People firm on the stance have to come to the conclusion they could lose everything. Yeah, that's the thing. You know what I mean? You got to come to the conclusion that, yeah, you know, I could lose my job, my livelihood, and all this if I decide to stand 10 toes down on this. Brainwashing wasn't as good with the H1N1. You're right about social media, because we didn't have anything. We have fucking Black Planet and maybe Facebook. Protocol, what up? It's interesting they headed to lockdowns and numbers rising as John Durham starts shining his light and microscope. Yeah. Yep, upkill. Yep, exactly. I appreciate it, yo. Try to keep it 100. Try to keep it 100 all the time. I ain't trying to lead nobody astray, man. Just what I see, you know. I'm just happy you guys like to come along for the ride with me sometimes, you know. Man, this was a cringy speech, you know. He felt like he had to do this because it was damage control for that crazy ass memo that they put out. You know, it's, and then on the same time they gotta push more of them yammies. You know, so much has been made, and they need to get it out there, and they need to make it look like they did this and that. And something's coming down the pike, and I don't know what it is. I swear I don't know what it is, but it's coming. It's coming. You know, I just hope everybody's prepared. If you're not, go to the market, stock up on your canned goods, stock up on your water. You know what I mean? Get some oodles and noodles. They cheap. You know what I mean? Get, you know, some tuna fish. You know, your canned chicken, stuff like that. You know, get your health up. Get your vitamins. Get your water. Get your vegetables in you. You know what I mean? Get your apple cider vinegar. A lot of people know it's a fad, but it really works. Get that apple cider vinegar. You keep your inflammation down. Get your weight down. Get healthy. You know, do your cardio. Do everything that you need to do to keep yourself healthy. Before it was all these prescription drugs, it was just nature. It was fruits and vegetables. You got your vitamins from what you ate. No, you are what you eat. that rings true today. It definitely rings true today. Anyway, I'm gonna get on out of here. Like I said, head over to HJ's channel. He got Dr. Tanah Ricks. It's going to be a great listen. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's going to be a lot of learned subject matter coming up. So, like I said, head on over to HJ's channel. And you guys stay up. I appreciate you rocking with me. It's Cannon Hotep. I'll holla at you.